Alrighty, everybody, good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining me here at the Atlanta News First Alert Desk. I'm Savannah Louie, anchor for Atlanta News First. Happy to be with you tonight here. And we are just going to hop straight into things because we got a busy week here in Metro Atlanta. And we are starting off with a story that is concerning residents here in Fulton County, all surrounding the possibility of issues when it comes to fire safety, particularly safety issues that might concern Fulton County or Atlanta specific fire stations here. So the issue here is that there is a shortage in fire equipment and in staff as well. Earlier today, Atlanta Fire Chief Roderick Smith reported they had to temporarily close 3 fire stations due to a shortage of equipment and staff. Now, Chief Smith says the reality is they're not in a dire space right now, but their reserve fleet, which is the core of any fleet, is in trouble. The 3 stations that are temporarily closed are Station number 30 on Cleveland Avenue in Southwest Atlanta, Station 22 on Hollywood Road in Northwest Atlanta, and Station number 23 on Howell Mill Road in Northwest Atlanta. These closures will not be long-term. The department will continue to close different stations to offset this equipment shortage. We know that 8 fire engines and 9 ladder trucks are down right now, all due to mechanical issues. So here's the issue. If a house fire breaks out near one of the stations that is closed, the public should have confidence that the engines will still be routing to the fire. Meantime, we know that all 15 council members here in Atlanta are listed as sponsors on a proposal that'll go before a finance executive committee on Wednesday. And if it passes through committee, then it'll go through a full council vote on Monday to get more vehicles and equipment allotted to the city. In addition, and this is separate from a council proposal, Chief Smith tells Atlanta News First the department is awaiting 11 fire vehicles that have been on back order due to manufacturing delays. So this is something that we are going to keep a close eye on over the course of the next couple of days as we find out what Atlanta City Council is going to be doing about this, and then also even further down the road as we wait to hear back on the status of that back order surrounding the Atlanta fire departments. All right, guys, let's hop on to our next story here. This one out of Troup County for you this afternoon, where families are furious and concerned over the behavior of a Troup High School JROTC commander who has resigned after allegedly providing alcohol to students and flirting with some students. This is all according to the Troup County school system officials. They say that the commander was put on administrative leave one day after it was reported he had allegedly provided alcohol to students. This was back in August. Now, the school system says in a release that they are reviewing the investigation. Again, this has to do with Major David Frick, who resigned from Troup High School on September 13th. The release, which was shared with Atlanta News First, states in August, a Troup High School administrator reported Frick, the senior Air Force JROTC commander at the school, was at a small party after the senior prom in April with several students. According to the police incident report, the teacher was seen drinking with a student after prom. And according to that release, Major Frick had provided alcohol to students and was dancing flirtatiously with one of the female students. Troup County School System says as a result of a joint investigation between the LaGrange Police Department and the TCSS Security Director, it was verified by the TCSS Security Director alcohol had been provided to students and that there was an inappropriate flirtation between the teacher and one student. This woman on here, that is a parent who has been very frustrated over this entire incident, understandably so. She spoke with Atlanta News First, Rachel Aragon, for that story. We have the full interview and story on our website right now, atlantanewsfirst.com, if you are interested in learning a little bit more about that. But I do want to move ahead to another story impacting folks in DeKalb and Fulton counties. There's a group who runs both of these counties' animal shelters. And the group says it'll be forced to euthanize animals as early as this week if overcrowding issues are not resolved. However, there is one woman who spoke with Atlanta News First Adam Murphy about a creative solution to hopefully get some of these animals rehoused. I am going to let Adam Murphy take it from here.
Oh, my SpongeBob. He's an amazing big guy. Love this guy.
Rosalie Hathcock is an animal lover and volunteer for Lifeline, which runs 2 major shelters in Metro Atlanta.
And he has these extra wrinkles around his face. So gosh, it would make me so happy if I could get that baby adopted.
She and some of her fellow volunteers decided it was time to think outside the box and come up with a way to get more people interested in adopting the dogs in the Fulton and DeKalb County shelters.
It's hard when, that's overcrowding and the dogs are stressed, and because of that, it just leads to decline and more demand. And
so she created dog profile cards, much like baseball cards, but for animals, and attached them to pieces of candy that homeowners and businesses could hand out this Halloween season.
And we chose 100 of the dogs that have been here for 50 or more days that are not necessarily getting the attention of people when they walk through the shelter, but are awesome animals.
The cards give fun facts about the dogs that have been in the shelter for 50 or more days. A Lifeline spokesperson said there are a couple hundred dogs over capacity between the 2 shelters.
The outcome could be very, very sad if we can't figure out some more creative ways, and instead of doing shock value with euthanasia, trying to figure out a different way to get people's attention and a way to help and see how great these animals really are.
Now, a Lifeline spokesperson told me there has been a spike lately in the number of dogs coming into the animal shelters. In fact, numbers show there have been more dogs coming in than going out adopted. And if this trend continues, they said they will have no other option but to put down up to 9 dogs a day. At the DeKalb County Animal Shelter, Adam Murphy, Atlanta News First.
All right, guys, so if you're looking for an animal, a new friend, that could be a great option for you. All right, guys, I got one more story for you this evening. And if you are planning on heading out of town anytime soon by the air, you want to listen up to this. And it doesn't even have to be anytime soon. It could really be over the next several years, because we are learning that the south parking deck at Hartsfield-Jackson, not going to be an option for you if you need to park anymore. It is closed already. And that's because construction here is set to start on November 1st. The construction is going to be all in phase 1. Airport officials estimate the project to be completed in 2026. So we got a while here, folks. Other options for you if you need to park include the west deck, the select deck, and the park and ride lots. The new south deck, it's going to be pretty impressive. It'll include 6,700 additional parking spots, ticketless entry, an exit, and a bridge to the domestic terminal. If you want more information on how to reserve a parking spot at the airport, we have information to where you can do that under this story on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. Guys, I love hanging out with you. But I know someone else who wants to make a quick appearance and say hello. He's got some good news for us, too, so this is going to be good. Meteorologist, Patrick Pete. Wait, this isn't Patrick Pete. Patrick, you're looking a little different these days.
I am.
No, I'm going to get this to work for us. While I'm getting this to work, Patrick, what really annoyed me today? I'm pretty upset about this.
The clouds?
No, it has nothing to do with the weather.
Oh.
I know someone out there is going to appreciate this. We got someone who microwaved fish for dinner or lunch. It is foul.
Who was it? Was
Dude,
it
I
Ellie?
don't know, but I am not happy.
I had to ask because you reacted, Ellie.
Yeah, because it's so pungent. All right, what camera is that? Are you on camera too?
Yes.
OTT.
Yeah, I think that it's bad office politics to bring fish
Dude, who's
into work
doing that?
and microwave it. Yeah.
If you're bringing fish into the workplace, you got to go home.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not the way to go. Let's talk about the good news, because
Yes.
everybody wants to hear about this amazing forecast that we have that's coming down the pipeline. And these numbers, yeah, you
I
can
was
go
going to say,
ahead.
you want me to bring it up?
Yeah.
This looks great.
These numbers over the course of the next few days, really amazing. Temperatures should be in the low 70s this time of year, and we are trending warmer, trending unseasonably warm, roughly 5 to 10 degrees as we head through parts of this week. So really an amazing, amazing forecast. Good Monday evening. It's good to see y'all again. Haven't seen y'all in a while at this hour on these platforms in quite some time. So it's nice to be back. Things are back to normal here at Atlanta News First. We had a very busy week. Pretty sure you saw some of that coverage. But let's talk about this week, because it's a new week and it's looking pretty sweet. I do want to get you through the next 24 to 48 hours, which you can expect as you head out of the door tomorrow. There will be some clouds around for the morning drive, a good mix of sun and clouds, but we expect to become more sunny as we head into the second half of the afternoon, and we're going to be dealing with a nice east breeze. So that means that we're going to be getting into the 70s again. Low 70s for most of us just because of the east wind, but otherwise a gorgeous day. Once we get past a borderline chilly start to the morning, we will slide into the mid 60s around lunchtime and hang out in the 70s for all of those after school, after work activities for a few hours. So pretty solid start to the day. We'll dip back into the 60s by 7 o'clock, mostly clear skies. It's going to be a beautiful evening to grab tacos. Side note, I already have my eye on some tacos. I'm actually going to try to get them tomorrow. I'm going to try to get them DoorDashed because I had them at this festival in the park a couple of weeks ago, and they were amazing. So good tacos, good Taco Tuesday forecast. I'm a little hungry too, y'all. This is normally my dinner time, so if I exaggerate a little bit on the food, it's just because it's on my mind. But something that's going to be on my mind Wednesday morning is going to be a gorgeous day, because we're going to get warmer as we head into the afternoon. Already at 70 around lunchtime, those winds are going to become more southeasterly, and that's going to allow us to climb into the mid 70s Wednesday afternoon, and that will only continue to increase as a warm front lifts through the region. We're expecting those numbers to increase for the weekend. As far as rain is concerned, there's not any in the forecast, and that's normally a great thing for all of our outdoor plans. But because a large portion of North Georgia is actually dry, some areas are already in a drought, some are flirting with being in a drought. We could actually use some rain. We are a little bit behind our rain totals for the month and for the year, so we could use a good soaking. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen in this 7-day. But we are going to be blessed with some very warm weather heading into the weekend, flirting with 80 degrees by Friday, and I think we actually get there Saturday and Sunday, hanging out there as we head into next week. So this stretch of weather is amazing for this time of year. We're going to see those fluctuations getting warmer through the 7-day. Meanwhile, keeping an eye on the tropics, Hurricane Tammy out there, wind sustained at 75. So a little bit of weakening since earlier this afternoon. The latest update has it weakening by about 5 miles per hour, but we do see the potential for some development, for some intensification over the course of the next 24 to 36 hours before it eventually runs into some cooler waters and a little bit of wind shear, and that's going to cause the system to weaken. But we do expect at least some impacts to Bermuda. This is going to be moving very close. Regardless of which side of the cone it takes, they'll get waves, they'll get some rain, and probably a breeze as the system will be weakening as it trends towards the northwest. Also watching a recently developed system in the Caribbean. We spoke about this at 3 o'clock, and this was upgraded at 5 to a tropical depression. Tropical Depression 21 has winds sustained at 30 miles per hour. You can see it's making a beeline to the west at about 5 miles per hour, moving very slowly towards Nicaragua. This is going to be a rainmaker, folks, and because it's moving so slow, we are going to be watching for those rain totals down there. You have the fact that it's moving slow, bringing all this tropical moisture inland, but also a lot of those locations in that region of the world are very mountainous. And whenever you have mountains and you have a system moving in, you get what we call orographic impacts. And what that means in layman's terms is that you have essentially air that is moving up against the mountain, and once it runs into that mountain, it can't go down into the ground, it can go up. That's literally the only direction it can go. So that causes lift, and that causes enhanced precip, essentially. You get enhanced rain totals around these mountain ranges. So we'll be watching for some of that. That's going to be the bigger story from this system. Not expecting it to intensify as it will be making landfall tonight into the early morning hours. So other than that, a pretty quiet forecast closer to home. I'm going to go ahead and back up real quick so that we can get you that 7 days so that you can do your screenshots and prepare for this awesome, amazing weather that we have in store. And for an updates on the tropics, because we'll get an update tonight, you can tune in to Atlanta News First at 11. Happy Monday, and I will see you all later on.